Hello, hello. Good morning, everybody, or evening, or wherever you guys are around the world. Today we have a guest on stream who's going to be joining us to play Among Us. Introducing NATO information threat expert, Robin L. Kady.
First of all, very good to be here. Thanks so much for the invite. Very intimidated by you, Z, and to
Don't be intimidated.
Watch me play. You're such a professional, Z. You know, I have to give my best. But yeah, excited to be here, everyone.
This has been an exciting opportunity that's been like I think it's been 2 months in the making, at least for me, and I think that's something that they've been working on since June. NATO reached out to me and they wanted to talk about cybersecurity on stream, in particular because I have a software engineering background, and like that's one of the reasons why they said like they chose me in particular, and it just felt like an honor to do.
Hey everyone, I'm Gleich. I'm a professional ski mountaineer and activist based in Park City, Utah. I was really inspired to join the creator campaign by my dad. My dad is really old, and he thinks very highly of NATO. And I'm super fascinated by what you do, Robin, because I think that like social media disinformation in particular is a huge threat for democracy.
So in between games, we're just going to be talking about what Robin does and what NATO does in regards to cybersecurity.
What was considered a quote-unquote threat that you guys would look to in terms of your role at NATO?
One of the focuses would be on hostile information activities. You know, so for instance, when certain actors, you know, spread and promote a disinformation campaign that seeks to undermine, you know, democratic governance. We saw that during COVID a lot, right? Like where hostile actors really started to push disinformation. These hostile information activities are one key focus that I specifically pursue as part of the information environment assessment team. But then we also have a cyber focus, you know, like our cyber analysts, they focus more on like the big cyber attacks that seek to penetrate our servers. The cyber world never sleeps, and like cyber threats keep growing in sophistication and volume. And, you know, but so are our defenses as well, right? Because geopolitics doesn't sleep, right? Nobody sleeps. And it's so fast moving and changing. So our responses and our analysis has to change and adapt as well.
Junk is saying to play one without him. So do you guys want to hop into another game now?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Let's get murdery.
Getting my task done, being a good crewmate, pretending like I don't have crazy vision. Is Robin gonna... Oh, I wonder if this man's a killer. Oh, I wonder. We have a dead body.
Okay, now I'm actually scared we're trapped with a murderer. Great.
So what do you know,
Z, was it you?
No,
Was it you with your Viking hat?
No, and I don't think it was you. Yeah, you seemed like you didn't really know where you were going.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was a bit confused, but give me some time.
Chat, does anyone have any questions for Robin regards to NATO and cybersecurity and what he does, and I can kind of just like pass it along to him? At least you can come out of the stream feeling informed. Oh my God, it's Robin! What? You should have saw the face that I made when you killed me, Robin.
I know, Z. You don't know how hard it was for me, Z, to kill you.
You were so far away from that first body, I just genuinely didn't think that you killed me. And Lux Familiar says, as someone studying computer science in Germany, how did you guys get into a job like this?
Basically, you know, I think one thing to note, right? NATO is, of course, a political and military alliance, but there are so many things that NATO does, and there are so many different job profiles that we need as an alliance. We have graphic designers, we have people who edit movies, we have press officers, we have, you know, so many different language and regional expertise. So you know, I think for you, you know, browse the NATO website and you'll be surprised. And especially with computer science, there's so many great things. You know, we focus now more and more increasingly on AI, on innovation, on software development. Good luck, fingers crossed, and feel free to reach out, please.
Also, fellow computer science major, I ended up Twitch streaming, but big respect. Big respect.
What do you think about a password saver? You know, like the software.
Yeah. So these ones, right? Like I think these are way better than having like easy passwords that are easily can be easily remembered. Ideally, right? Like you leave no digital trace. Z, do you write your passwords down?
I will not confirm or deny anything that I do
Oh,
because
okay,
I don't
okay,
want to
okay.
broadcast to the world what I do in regards to cybersecurity.
Breaking into
Pass the
your house,
test.
not to steal your jewelry, but I'm stealing all your passwords.
Do you have any tips for how to recognize like bots or troll farms or anything like that online?
People forget how significant the threat actually is, and it doesn't just stay in the online world. You know, threats like disinformation, hostile information, that they have actual real-life societal effects, right? And they affect the military, they affect the political decision-making and so on. NATO, for instance, put this Setting the Record Straight platform up, and that's where, you know, basically different disinformation that was spread were debunked, using some critical thinking of like the websites and the sites, the social media accounts that promote content, right? One makes sure that news are mainly consumed from the trusted ones and not like the, you know, the newer fringe social media accounts. We talk too much, you know, so more playing now. Good.
So how did you get into NATO?
For me, I have a bit of a different background. So basically, where to start? When I was younger, I was very much into filmmaking.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
so really always wanted to be a film director, you know, so I got into studied media studies and philosophy, like media philosophy as an undergrad, and then I got more into like the political realm. So I was in the US, did politics and ethics and public international law. And, you know, then basically I saw this NATO traineeship option.
Ooh.
Okay, I just got killed. Great.
Just found your body.
No, and I saw this NATO traineeship internship option. I was like, hey, why not apply? And, you know, I'm so glad because, you know, all of my different skills are I use all of them, you know, like the media background, dealing with information communications, you know, the political background, the public international law background. It's a good way in.
That's great.
This is
Someone from
great.
chat has a question for you. This is a question
Shoot.
from Zizatink from chat. What are some of the most common risks that most people don't notice?
People think of cyber attacks as, you know, like very abstract and like very sophisticated. They picture like these crazy hacking rooms and you have, you know, people who just focus on that. But I think often it is, as I was saying before, most commonly exploiting vulnerabilities in the system. You know, private individuals are trying to get data, trying to get information, credit card data and so on. And that, you know, our passwords are less secure than we think. You know, I think that's the biggest thing.
Like, let's just say you just sign up for a random website. It's maybe run by one or two guys, and you just kind of blindly trust them to enter in that same password that you've been using for 10 years.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing that people might not be aware of is how vulnerable our devices and passwords and so on actually are. I found a buddy, and I think I saw a blue player, but the blue player is me, so that wouldn't make.
Wait, what?
Wait,
So
you
it's
have
You saw you?
I think he's getting a little
Robbie's got a
uncomfortable with this
poker
whole
face.
killing
Like,
while
if he's a
talking
killer,
thing.
if he's a killer, he's got a really good poker
So he was
face.
just kind of standing there talking.
I really want to just like ask you like your opinion right now, or maybe it's just
Anything.
NATO's opinion. What would you say is one of the biggest information threats out there right now? Like number one.
There's so much information so that we're overwhelmed constantly, hit by noise, information, communications and so on, notifications. And then you add accounts into this noise that act as legitimate accounts, spread messages, and, you know, as soon as you're exposed to them, even the simple messages, they have an effect already, right?
Yeah,
and then picture like a bot account amplifying all of these fake messages. As soon as you're exposed to them, they kind of have sort of an impact. So I think make sure that doesn't happen, basically.
No, that's a good point. You can just be scrolling through social media, and like some people, they might be savvy enough to like investigate a little bit further, but a lot of people will just scroll, they'll see something, and then they'll be like, oh, well, that's weird, and then they'll just keep scrolling, and they'll just assume that was the
in
truth.
Back of your mind. Exactly.
Yeah, it's in the back of your mind. You'll be thinking like, didn't this guy say this one thing?
The more we actually know, the more knowledge we have, the more we know what the truth is, right? Of course, the more resilient we are. So proactive communications, education, working with partners is, of course, crucial here.
I have one final question.
yeah,
this
please.
is just from chat. It's just a fun question.
Of course.
This is from Arnie Dub in chat.
Sure.
What is just your favorite part? Your favorite part of working at NATO?
Oh, so what I love the most is that I get to work in a team that consists of people of the different 30 nations, you know. to take people from all 30 nations, joining the international staff, having them move here, and living in this international NATO bubble. This is really amazing and truly something I appreciate every day.
Yeah, can I add something? Because like the few times I've been to the headquarters, it's like huge, like amazing to see everybody from different parts of the world, from different countries within NATO working together.
Embassies. So that of course fosters collaboration and, you know, intimacy, and like, you know, great, you develop personal ties, you know. You eat together at the dining hall, you go to like, we have like a little cafe and like 2 cafes inside, you grab coffee, you know, so it really fosters such a great working atmosphere to actually solve global security problems together.
Just doing this has been an honor. The fact that you selected me to host this event. Thank you so much for everything that you do. I think it's something that people just don't think about at all. They kind of just take it for granted, like everyone working behind the scenes to make sure that they can just stay safe in the real world and on the internet. So thank you so much, guys, for joining and just kind of just informing my audience, informing the world, whoever decides to watch this in video format or here on the stream. Thank you, guys.
Thank you
so much. And Caroline, thanks everybody, and it's been super exciting to be here. Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.